opportunity with these hills and the wind to try and get close, so we have to make a move now. We don't have a whole lot of light left. Let's see how close we can get. The nice thing is he's all by himself, so we just have to watch his eyes and make sure he doesn't pick us off. Oh yeah, he's a decent buck.
Prairie Pursuit is brought to you by Bushnell, BL & Sons Construction, Capital Auto Group, Real Estate Center, North Pro Sports, Canadian Dent, Black Rock Automation, Good To Go Rentals, JB's Sausage Maker Supplies, Customize, car, truck, powersport, marine audio accessories.
So this week we're in southern Saskatchewan. We are going for mule deer with the bow. Pretty unique time of year where we can get an over-the-counter tag for mule deer, and we can look at some pretty amazing land. And we've got a beautiful weather, actually some awesome weather here today with overcast and wind, and it's going to be a good opportunity to get up, hopefully get up nice and close to some mule deer. This time of year we can hunt whitetail with the muzzleloader, we can hunt pheasant, we can hunt partridge, we can hunt chickens, a little bit of everything down here this time of year, which makes it a lot of fun. So we've got a bit of an arsenal in the truck and lots of options, but primarily we're after the mule deer. We've got some brand new arrows from Gold Tip, the Bowtech BTX 31 from Kevin at North Pro Sports. So if you need gear quick and you're in a bit of a time crunch, give Kevin a call. He's going to look after you and get stuff to you when you need it for your hunt. I can't wait to shoot these arrows and get this bow rolling and tuned in for our hunt. Let's get going. This year, Dad and I are starting off the first couple days. We're going through the full week, and then Jacob's going to be joining us for the last couple days, and just found out as well that Mike's going to be joining us again for a couple days. So really looking forward to having a crew out again, working together, and hopefully get some deer on the ground.
A little chilly, wind's a little strong, and a little bit shaky. It kind of settled down, just kind of got cold. So, but confidence at 20 and 30, but beyond that, nope, not gonna happen today with the wind.
Game on. We're heading out to one of our favorite spots, and see there's lots of deer hanging around the area right now, so we'll just play the wind and spend some time doing some hiking. Well, if you've ever tried spot and stalk with mule deer and a herd of cattle, it adds a whole different level of challenge. We ended up kicking up this herd of cattle. They went right towards where the deer were, and it turned out to be a doe and a fawn. They got up right away and headed out, I guess.
Something just over the edge. They're still like 150 yards away. There's no way to get to them.
Day one was of our hunt was truly awesome. It was pouring down. I looked at the cameraman, and there was sheets of rain pouring down, and we were actually kicking up mule deer. We were chasing a herd of cattle around. We were finding sheds and winter kills from deer. Although I was soaked right through, we all were. We were cold and something in me wanted to just keep going. I didn't want to quit. It was, I don't know, I loved it. The wind is up and it's clear. We're good now for the rest of the week. The back roads will dry up to give us some opportunity to explore a little bit more and get into some areas where we wouldn't normally, or we wouldn't have got a chance to get to with all the rain. But I made a few phone calls last night and this morning and sent some texts, and we've got some permission to get into some other land, and looking forward to seeing that land again and getting back in there and seeing what's going on. We've got a little bit of a game plan for this evening on some places to sit, and let's hope for the best. Again, we've got a good wind and some clear skies. We're not going to be soaked to the bone anymore.
Well, we spotted 2 smaller bucks down this grass bottom, and just trying to decide whether we should make a move on them or not. There's a little ridge there. We can walk right up to that ridge. I think they might be just over it.
They're over there.
Sorry?
I said they're just over here, eh?
Walk up. Yeah, let's walk.
Up the road.
What do you think? You think they're down in here?
I think they're down in here. Back in here. Because there's that water. They walked along the edge of that and they were out over in here somewhere. Oh no, she's coming right at us. Walking right towards us.
Oh yeah, there's 2 there.
Yep. Let's call down.
Yeah, and then Dad spotted a couple other mule deer bucks that had bedded down, and we decided we were going to try and make a move in on them. And right when we decided to back out, we spotted a couple other smaller bucks that were making their way towards us. We got nice and low, and they actually they walked within 10 yards. There was part of me that wanted to take the shot because I had a camera on. There was part of me that wanted to take the shot because I like the meat in the freezer, but it was pretty awesome to just have those 3 deer walk up nice and close, and the other part of me was just wanted to just enjoy that, so that's the one I chose. I think we're going to sit tonight. I think we might take the next couple hours just to check out some area, get some familiar with the ground again that we haven't been to in about a year. But we've got a couple spots where we want to sit, and it might give us either an opportunity tonight or give us a little bit of a lead for tomorrow or the next couple of days when Jacob's here, and hopefully set us up for the next couple of days as well.
So we finally spotted a buck. Hoping he would be coming up top to feed, but he's feeding right in the bottom. We've got a little bit of an opportunity with these hills and the wind to try and get close, so we have to make a move now. We don't have a whole lot of light left. Let's see how close we can get. Nice thing is he's all by himself. So we just have to watch his eyes and make sure he doesn't pick us off. Oh yeah, he's a decent buck.
Well, that buck that we spotted, when I said it was nice that he was by himself, not long after we started walking in, we could see there was 3 does bedded down, probably 100 yards from him, that were in a position where they could bust us. And anyway, we found a way to get close. We got to about 120 yards from him, and he ended up getting up and sitting with the does, which everything was starting to go kind of against us. And just tried to go really slow so we weren't spooking and scaring him, and trying to get as close as we can. He ended up, I think, spidey senses were tingling enough that he figured out something was going on, and he made his way up the hill. I'm just waiting for that moment for it to feel right, and I guess that's kind of what I've been hoping to pass on to Jacob too. And you know, lots of times when I'm out, I'll just make the decision right then and there that it just feels right, and this is the time. And much like the morning of day 2, I had 3 little bucks, you know, 10 yards from me, and probably had an opportunity to finally get a mule deer with the bow, and for some reason to let him walk by, it didn't feel right. So day 3, Andrea had driven up the night before with the kids, and Jacob joined us for the hunt. And Mike was also coming up for a couple days, which was really good. Dad ended up hopping in with Mike for the day, and Jacob with me, and we really started to cover some ground and see if we could identify some bucks that were worth going after. And really for Dad and for Jacob, we knew at some point in time it was going to get to the point where any of us or any deer we were going to have to go after. So we weren't being too picky. It was really tough, you know, like we didn't really have a plan to sit a morning or sit an evening or really an approach. We were scouting and looking for the deer to go down, and we had to bed down for the day and then make a plan from there. And the morning, Grace decided to stay at camp with us, which was awesome. She's such a sweetheart, and we love having her along. And she doesn't get to come out very often. You know, she's only joined us maybe a few days on a hunt, you know, for the last couple of years, and she wanted to stay and join us. Decided to slide down the hill and move into a couple lower little scrub brush, I got to 30. I was actually pretty shocked when I got up. I finally got a chance to see the deer, and I got up and ranged it, and it was 35 yards. I was super comfortable. I thought, that's as close as I need to get. Let's wait this out. And we waited for quite a while. He was right over my shoulder, which was neat. I could look over my shoulder, and he was giving me the thumbs up, keep moving in. So to have, even just to have that communication with somebody while you're making your move was incredibly helpful. And I think we just got a little bit, we got impatient. We could have sat there and waited the whole time. We had in our minds what we thought was gonna work, create a little bit of a distraction by throwing some rocks in the area, maybe get them to pick their heads up and get an idea as to where they are, maybe get them to stand up, and it just backfired. They got up and took off quicker. Two of the deer stood up 35 yards from me. One was facing right at me, one was facing right away from me. I mean, they could have stood up and stood broadside and I had a shot, but that wasn't the case. When they stood up, I stood up, and they decided that was it. Two of them ran off, the other two picked up right away, gone over the hill, and that was the end of that. I think hunting anything with bow and arrow is incredibly hard, incredibly difficult task. You know, I've found over the last few years hunting mule deer with bow and arrow is just, it's an incredible test of patience and just really willingness to go and actually do that. It's a tough hunt. And in that particular area, just the way that the hills are set up, there's huge numbers of deer, and in this case we were finding groups of 13 and 7 and 8, and so when it almost felt impossible, because when you're trying to make a sneak on a group of deer versus one or maybe two, you've got just so many different eyes looking at you. We were on our way back from our last evening, and even Jacob said, this is tough. I'm looking forward to a rifle hunt. It is. But all the same, how much fun do we have, and how close do you get? And you have to really think completely differently to get in on the animals. And the area that we were is that much tougher. It was a very, very challenging time to try and even get that close to them.
Yeah, so this year was my first year hunting after I got my hunter safety, and this was my third hunt, and it was for archery mule deer, and I was so excited to do that with my grandpa and my dad, and just to see everything that there is. And at the start of the hunt, I said, if I don't get anything, I don't really care, because I'm going out there with my grandpa and my dad's friends, hunting and just enjoying each other's company and seeing what's there.
We spotted these, a doe and 2 fawns, and Jacob was convinced he could cut them off. We just ducked down, and about 20 minutes later, I realized Jacob was belly crawling to try and get close to him. He's, I bet you he's about 50 yards from me right now.
Oh, that was so awesome to watch. He did really good. He got to, like, it must have been 10 yards. Very impressive.
Yeah, so this trip, I didn't end up getting a deer, but I didn't really care about that, because for me, it wasn't about getting the biggest, baddest muley in the country. It was about going out there, having fun, and just doing what I love to do, seeing animals and being with my dad and my grandpa.
So the very last night, Jacob and I see a bunch of deer down in the flat, and they were feeding. There was about 24 does and fawns and a number of bucks that were feeding down there. And as the sun went down and it was getting later and later, I realized, you know, this was that was it. You know, just those deer weren't going to make it up to where we had seen them go before, and just really soaked up the moment watching those and sitting beside Jacob. And yeah, on our way back, put my arm around Jacob and I said, "So what do you think? Do you want to archery mule deer hunt again?" And he said, "For sure." He said, "It's not." He said, "It's not about getting it, Dad." He said, I had so much fun hanging out with you and my grandpa and your friends, and just being out here was so much fun." And he got a chance to stalk in. He got a chance to see some amazing country. And even when we came around the hills and the corners, and every time you came around travel a new area, you could see it in him. He's like, "Man, is it ever a beautiful area?" And you could see that he was really taking it in the same way that I do. And as much as I want to see him and even Mike or Dad get a deer with a bow, and I would love to do it myself, Jacob's always a reminder to me that it's not always about that, as much as you really like to have that at the end of the day.
Prairie Pursuit is brought to you by Bushnell, BL & Sons Construction, Capital Auto Group, Real Estate Center, North Pro Sports, Canadian Dent, Black Rock Automation, Good To Go Rentals, JB's Sausage Maker Supplies, Customize car, truck, powersport, marine audio accessories.